we're going to take a walk around, have a look at all of the coasters that they have here. They started off 2023 with 10 coasters. They announced mid-year that they were going to get rid of their Kitty Snoopy coaster in order to expand the Planet Snoopy area of the park. So they're down to 9. Of those 9, 2 Accelerator and also Montezuma's Revenge are down for a long refurbishment, and Ghost Rider is also down for a brief time. It's going to be down for the whole time we're here, so we won't get to ride that. But of the remaining 6, we'll walk around and take a look at them and talk to you about them. So without further ado, let me flip this camera around. We are actually not currently near any of the coasters, but I wanted to start in the Ghost Town section of the park because there are a couple of other interesting little things I wanted to focus on. So I'll get over to them right now. And let's see, I'm getting the comments up. So there we go. If you have anything that you want to say, let me know. I'll be checking the comments as they come on the screen. So here's a look at some of the facade of the Ghost Town. It's a very well-themed area. I love all the old architecture. I'm not sure if this is real wood or not, but if it's not real wood, they do a great job making it look like real wood.
Dedicated for that.
First thing that I want to show you is the jail cell over here. But actually, before I peek into the jail cell, I want to go around and get a little bit of backstory. Someone trying to sneak out of this window here. But okay, there's a sign on the side by the sign that points you to the town jail. The sign says, Sad-Eyed Joe, horse thief, caught by sheriff, now in town jail. So, following the arrow back to the town jail. You can peek inside.
Well, howdy, friend.
Oh, hey, you're awake. I was by here earlier today and you were sleeping.
Yeah, no, I'm wide awake for now.
Is it true you stole a horse?
Well, that's a misconception. That's an understanding. A fabrication of the truth. I borrowed that horse.
Oh, okay. You just forgot to give it back.
I didn't have a choice. Well, the names like Slowpoke wasn't really that hard to catch.
You've been in jail for an awfully long time for someone who only borrowed a horse.
Yeah, this is the longest 5 minutes of my life. Every time I ask that sheriff, hey, when am I going to get out? 5 minutes. Hey, when am I going to get out? 5 minutes. That was over 75 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. I hope you get out soon.
Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks.
Alrighty.
That was a lot of fun. I was expecting him to still be asleep. So that was one of the 2 fun things in this area that I wanted to take a look at. The other one is over. There's a barbecue restaurant over here, and beyond that, underneath of a giant windmill, is this creature known as the catawampus. The species is now extinct, and this one was the last of its kind. It's been here since the 1930s, and it was moved from another area of the park, so it's a pretty famous landmark at this park, even though it's not in its original location. If we wait here a couple more minutes, sometimes it'll make a noise. So let's see if we can listen for its majestic sound. Don't want to wait too long, so hopefully it'll say something. In the meantime, take a look at these trees and cactus back here. This foliage is such a change from the parks on the East Coast. And he's got a little baby here with him too. Okay, well, it looks like he doesn't have anything to say to us, so I'm going to start walking just so we're not just staring at a piece of wood for a long time, but he will make a moo sound. It's almost just like a cow moo. I was hoping he would do it for us, but yeah, that's what you can expect from him. We'll move along and look at the other sections of it. There we go, just in time. So, we're gonna head over. The big feature over here in the Ghost Town area is the Ghost Rider coaster. As I mentioned at the beginning, that one is down for the time being. I'll still run by there in a little bit, but right, there's nothing really to see there. This says Eastern Trails Museum. I don't know if this is an actual museum or if it's just a facade. I haven't seen it open. I love the carvings they have around here though. Keep up by order of the sheriff. I like that they're keeping the theming alive even in the keep out signs. Calico Saloon. There is a leather shop over here. We're moving toward a big mountain that houses a log flume, which is straight ahead. That log flume looks refreshing. The temperature here is almost 90 degrees, so I'm a little bit worried about the phone potentially overheating. I'm hoping it doesn't, but we'll see what happens. I've been keeping it cool in a shaded locker all day, so hopefully it'll hold on. Here is the building for Judge Roy Bean, who is a Justice of the Peace and the law west of the Pecos. Even more importantly, right here is the entrance to the stagecoach, and as it sounds, this is a legitimate stagecoach. I'm sure we'll get a better look at it later on as we walk around the park, but it's propelled by actual true horses. So it's pretty awesome. We haven't ridden on that yet. That's something we hope to do. As you can see over here in the distance, that's probably what's now of this park, Hang Time. It's the first Intamin dive coaster as far as I'm aware. It's definitely the first on the West Coast. I'm not aware of too many Intamin dive coasters, so it might be the first. That's a very fun ride, and it's probably my personal highlight of this park. Silver Bullet, which we've seen the track as I've been walking around the track, is right here. Oh yeah, that's a B&M invert. Let me see if I can pause this stream for a minute because the phone's being strange. The phone started throwing a fit, so it looks like the only way to fix it was to start something new. So here we go. I hope that you are still tuning in because I had to start this new stream. I hope you found it. I'm going to flip the camera back around and get going and pulling up the comment as Jen walks by. Here we go. So, as I was saying before, we're here by Silver Bullet at Knott's Berry Farm, which is a B&M inverted coaster. And it and Hang Time are definitely the two outstanding coasters at this park. You can go onto this little walkway to get to it. It has pictures on both sides of explorers. Other important people. A lot of coasters in this park are clustered together. So you can see the coaster Jaguar going in the distance. In the foreground, this is the track for Silver Bullet. And then to the left, here's another look at hang time. And to the right of that, as the log goes down the flume, that top hat there is Accelerator, which is one of the coasters that's down for refurbishment right now. And then in the distance farther this way, behind this water tower, if you can see some of the track back there, that track is for the Pony Express coaster, which is a mile of launch coaster, but it's a lot of fun despite being not extremely fast. So just in this tiny little area, you can see 5 of the 9 coasters. This is a great invert, especially as you're going over the water. If you can see the water here, above it is an upward helix, and that upward helix pulls some serious positive G's, and I love it. This is the main reason I like this coaster so much, is this helix. It was running at the beginning of the day, and then it went down, and it went back up. I hope it's not down again, because I haven't seen anything come down the track in a minute. I'm going to wait here for just a minute. But if you can see behind the track for Silver Bullet, there's another piece of track that's going straight up for a shuttle coaster. That shuttle coaster is Montezuma's Revenge, which is the other one. Okay, good, it's starting to go. That's the other coaster besides Accelerator that's down for a long refurb. Accelerator, from what I've heard, is close to being back to operating again, but Montezuma's Revenge still has a long way to go. There goes the train. In typical B&M invert fashion, it's a slow lift hill. The end. I love that helix though. That's a great way to end that coaster. I hope I wasn't too zoomed in on Jen there. Another thing that's really cool about this particular area, it has a bunch of these displays showing various different missions within California. Little displays of how they look, and also little information books about what makes them special. This is just one of about a dozen. A little mining car here. There's a lot of mining related things around this area of the park, which reminds me a little bit of Kenobi's. Only I don't think that they take it as seriously here as they do at Kenobi's. Here's another one of the mission displays, as well as the backstory behind Silver Bullet. Basically, it's the story of evil spirits trying to stop people from producing silver bullets, so the people got wise and started producing another mode of transportation to transport the silver, the special silver out to make the bullets and stop the evil spirits. I like when coasters have a backstory, it makes them all that much more fun. This is Mission Saint Inez, or Santa Inez, sorry. Santa Inez. Going up the lift hill now, that's Sierra Sidewinder, which is a spinning coaster. You can sit forward or backwards going there. It's kind of similar in nature to Laugh Track at Hershey Park. Another look at the end of the track for Montezuma's Revenge. This is another one of the missions. They have the names at the top. This one in particular doesn't seem to have a book inside talking about it, but this is Mission San Miguel Arcangel. As you can get a good look at there through the reflection. I know you'd rather see that than look at me reflected in there. Mission San Diego in passing. I don't want to stop and look at all of them thoroughly in case nobody's really interested. They're a nice little the track for Jaguars right here. I keep looking at one thing and then a roller coaster train goes by and I get distracted. But I guess that's what today's about, the roller coasters. So let's see if we can watch this one. Watch the Sierra Sidewinder go up the hill. Down it goes. And, well, we can see a little bit of it. I thought we would lose all the track here, but now here it goes. Okay, now we pretty much lost sight of it. I love how round those coaster cars are. Let's go this way. Before we go into Camp Snoopy, let's go this way so we can get a quick look at the front of the park as well as Ghost Rider, even though we won't actually get to see Ghost Rider in action, unfortunately. Even though we're not going through Camp Snoopy yet, here's a look at the entrance to Camp Snoopy, where there is a Snoopy Rapids Transit canoe with Snoopy and 3 Woodstocks riding down the falls. Here's the front gate. As you walk into the park, you're greeted by a giant windmill / weather vane with a couple of rotating dancers on top of it. It's not quite as special as, say, an Eiffel Tower, like some of the other Cedar Fair parks might have, but it's not much. And here is the main entrance to Ghost Town, which is actually where we started, but I went in a different direction, so it didn't take us by Ghost Rider. To the right is a map, which I want to look at later, but right now there's somebody sitting on it, so I don't want to disturb them. But the park is divided into about 6 different areas, which is actually surprisingly kind of small. Ghost Rider is the coaster that I've heard the most about, even though I believe it's a little bit older than Hang Time. People rave about this coaster. Here's the entrance. Go through a nice to see some other people who are coaster fans here at this park. It seems like this is mainly a locals kind of park, so there are fans of Knott, but not really so much fans of amusement parks in general, so that was kind of cool to see. I tried to keep them off camera because I didn't let them know they were live, but I think I did get them on a little bit. I hope they don't mind that. I was trying to not focus too much on the kids who were getting near the entrance to Ghost Rider. I especially don't like any kids on camera without parental permission. So, yeah, so here is the hill and first drop for Ghost Rider. And I assume this is a souvenir shop for Ghost Rider when it's open. I love the artwork on the side of the building. And then there's Ghost Rider Goods, which may be another souvenir shop. I'm not sure, good question. I wish it was open so I could find out. And down here all the way at the end is where you would pick up your Ghost Rider photos. Looks all sad all by itself down here. The cool thing is when you park and walk into the park, you actually pass directly under some of Ghost Rider's track. So that's kind of fun. It would be even more fun if there were trains going overhead, but it is what it is. It happens. That's a reason for an excuse for us to come back here again in the future.
The dead end there, dead end there.
I've heard such good things about that ride, but yet, without actually seeing it in action, I can't corroborate those stories. So I don't know, I just have to take people's word for it that it's a really good ride. I'll head back this way and check out some of the other areas of the park. 2 coasters, Ghost Rider, which is a very funny name considering Ghost Riders here, and Hang Time are both near one another. That particular area is themed kind of like a beach boardwalk, which is appropriate considering Southern California has a bunch of beaches and boardwalks. But that particular area plays a bunch of 50s-ish kind of music, so I don't know how YouTube is going to feel about that, but we'll go by there anyway. Let's see, let's go this way? This way? Still trying to find our way around the park. We know it a little bit. We spent some time in here already. And all the areas of the park have at least one of these benches. I think this particular area has about 3 of them. So you can sit down in between a couple of figures. You should have sat down there with them. Hop Wingly, and they have laundry drying on the line above. Next to that is the Silver Dollar Shooting Gallery. You can pay either $5 or $3 to play this, or $10. You can get 5 games for $10. 24 shots or multiplayer with unlimited shots for a full minute. Try to hit as many targets as you can, and they'll react If you've ever seen a shooting gallery like this, anything you shoot will move. There's a chicken over there. Plus, this is extra nice on a day like today because it's shaded. Get your belly aching, no spitting, and no cussing. Well, that's a little taste of what would happen. There's a blacksmith here with a real anvil. A drugstore and a dress shop, both of which are closed. I'm not sure that they ever open. That's prison cage. Little alcove back here. Wanted posters and notices mentioning Billy the Kid and other people of that time period. There's a towel hanging here with a sign above. 100 others use this towel, and you're the first one to care. That's funny. And we're back around to Sad-Eyed Joe, who we had a nice conversation with earlier. I hope you were able to catch it. Taking Jen's navigation advice because she knows where she's going better than I do. We'll go this way. Here, we're back around to the kettle wampus that we saw earlier. Finally got to hear him move. There's a gun shop here that sells pop guns. And then they have an undertaker here. If you could see, there's a wooden coffin out in front of the undertaker's shop that you can stand inside of for a photo opportunity. Seems like it's fitting Jen pretty well. We have the Birdcage Theater, which I think legitimately has shows inside of it, but they haven't been doing anything since we've been here. Everyone welcome except Mayfield's. Here is, as the sign says, an old schoolhouse. There's a padlock on there, so I assume this hasn't been open in a while. 1879, built by a group of Iowa farmers who settled in central Kansas near Belvoir. I assume that's true? I don't know. There's a lot of other things that are just here to be goofy, such as this Phineas Pinchbeck. Sells alarm clocks for husbands, timekeeper for manufacturers, election computers for politicians, and also honest Tiny's legitimate business. Imports and exports, station, no questions asked ever, so you know this is good. This is safe and legal. Everything's above board and Jen agrees.
Te va a poner una foto ahí.
La casita.
Wilderness Dance Hall. part of the park we'll lose it today. If I can get away from these trees so you can see the sign. The Calico River Rapids. We have not ridden this yet, but we really hope to. They actually have animatronics we've seen going by as you're riding in the rafts. We'll show you a couple of them that you can see while you're on dry land. But first, for National Roller Coaster Day here is another one of the coasters here is Pony Express, the launch coaster. Let's see if we can get a good enough angle to see the launch. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. No, we're not going to be able to see from this angle. Let's see if I can go somewhere else and find a good spot. Over here on the left of the rapids. So it goes directly on the opposite side of this walkway, here between the rapids and the Pony Express coaster. While we're waiting to catch the Pony Express, here's some of the animatronics you can see on the rapids. Have this bear with a fish in his mouth. And then up on the rock above, there's a mountain lion looking down on the grass. Rumor has it there's a Sasquatch somewhere on this ride, though I don't believe in such things.
The Pony Express stables here are where you would go to pick up your ride photos after getting off the coaster.
This sign's kind of funny. Recruiting men to ride for the Pony Express. And here's a little bit of information about the Pony Express, how long they used it for, where it went. They have a little map of how far it went. And the oath. Here's the sign, because the entrance is right here. The coaster's coming back into the station, but it looks like we can't really see a good view of the launch without getting in the queue. Wait time's 15 minutes for this right now. It was 30 when we first got in line. Let's see if I can... I love the coaster cars because they look like horses. If you can see one of them here. Those are the seats you sit in to ride the coaster. And the part where your legs go look like cowboy pants and boots, so that's a pretty nice touch. And the camera is, there we go. That's more like it. Over here there's a bunch of TNT barrels, and if you can hear them exploding, that's because there are plungers to my right that I'll show you in a second. I'm hoping to, while we're looking at these TNT barrels, catch the Pony Express going along the track, because it'll go this way and then up into this building here and curve around, which is a lot of fun, especially because you're leaning forward, so the G-forces are a little bit different than if you were sitting straight up. Now that they've freed up, here's a look at the plungers you can hit to explode the dynamite. take this long for the Pony Express to get going. They were cranking the cars out earlier today. It goes right over top of the path here and also right here. I hear people screaming, there it goes. And then up into the building and around and up we go. Jen was waiting for me all that time. Sorry to keep you waiting. So as much as I like the ghost town area of the park, I'm actually kind of glad to be getting out of it because we've spent a lot of the stream and the up here is the entrance to a theater, which you wrap around, and the theater itself is actually on the second floor here. Below that is a quick service restaurant. There's a little bumper car here right in the middle of everything. As you can tell by the music and the decor, this area is themed to the 1920s. They call it, I need to see a map, they call it Charleston or something or other. Any of you are more familiar with Knott's Berry Farm, you can let me know exactly what it's called before I find the name. Bumper cars are called Wheeler Dealer. They have a nice sign hanging down. And we're coming up on the factory store, which is the exit of this ride up here. The building with the big boysenberry ad on the side. This is a dark ride. It's actually a shooting ride in the same vein as Toy Story Mania. If you've ever had the opportunity to ride that at Disney, basically you use a jar of boysenberries as a gun and you pull on a little string to fire berries at targets and score points. They call the ride Knott's Berry Tales Return to the Fair. And the reason it has the subtitle Return to the Fair is because back in the day they had a ride called Knott's Berry Tales that they removed from the park. It was just a dark ride. And people were upset about it because it was a much loved ride, but they decided, even though they didn't return the actual ride, they decided to compromise by continuing the story and also making it a game. They have this nice truck out in front, Knott's Berry Factory. Fresh boysenberries and sugar, getting ready to make some boysenberry pie. And by the way, if you didn't already know, the park is in Buena Park, California. Oh, turn around, Jen. Look who's out. Good to see you. What do I get a photo with that?
Great day, thank you.
That wasn't very unexpected. Sorry for the bad camera angle for a minute. I wasn't expecting to have a picture taken right there, but that was pretty cool. Oh, there it is. Charleston Circle Coffee. The area is Charleston Circle. There we go. That's a good reminder. Since it's the summer, they're doing similar to what they're doing in Busch Gardens. They're doing summer nights here at Knott's, which is a concert series. So it's funny that both Knott's and Busch Gardens are doing something similar like this. They have this big chair announcing it to everybody. But of course I'm missing the big feature of this Charleston area, this fountain. The fountain's pretty awesome. Like a lot of Cedar Fair parks, they have a big old Johnny Rockets here, which is fitting because as we walk by this Johnny Rockets, we enter into the area I was mentioning earlier, the boardwalk area, which has rides that you would find on a beach boardwalk. You first come to the boardwalk surf shop coming from this direction, which this is actually the exit to Hang Time, the Intamin dive coaster that I was mentioning earlier. This dive coaster is a little bit freaky than them coasters because this one doesn't go straight down. It's a beyond vertical drop, and the way they hold you at the top of the drop, they actually start moving forward very slowly. Say you're inching toward the fall, and then when they finally let you go real fast. It almost feels like a launch. That's a really amazing ride, and it's so hard to choose between this and Silver Bowl because they're both amazing. It's a really fun one. Over here they have the Boardwalk Pier. The Boardwalk Pier is actually a wooden pier over water. Houses two rides. You can see the boat ride here, the flying boats where you use the fins to control the direction you face. And then to the left of that is a traditional scrambler. Oh. Gimbal didn't like that, but I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not, but there are little minnows in this water here. So there actually are fish in here, they're just small. Hopefully I don't need to move this in the future because it's such loud music and I'm probably copyrighted music. I'll see what happens. As I continue around, as I mentioned earlier, Hang Time is themed to like a California beach, just like this whole area is. Here's the surfer on the wave on the Hang Time sign. Continuing around, we come to Coast Rider, which is a pretty traditional mouse coaster, except that after you go up the first hill, instead of automatically starting to zigzag like most mouse coasters, you actually go down and drop and back up first before you start all the zigzagging. This particular coaster, I have to admit I'm not a huge fan of mouse coasters in general, but I have to say that this one is probably my least favorite of all the mouse coasters that I already don't like because the restraints are weird. They have in addition to the lap bar has a shin guard attached to it, and it is not a comfortable one. They really bend your legs really far. It's kind of like what most Rocky Mountain construction coasters do for restraints, except extremely less comfortable compared to the RMC restraints. We're coming up on the Coasters Drive-In like they have at most Cedar Fair parks. Typical burger type place. Over here there's the Wipeout, which is a roulette style ride. That's what I call it. I'm not sure what the generic term for this style of ride is, but this one's a little bit special in that about halfway through the ride, the ride operator will crank up the speed to 11, and it just sucks you into your seat like you wouldn't believe. It's almost like I don't know, I wanted to say teacups, but even the teacups don't get those kind of G-forces. It's kind of ridiculous. Here's the sign for Coast Rider. The sign is actually a lot better than the ride itself. On the right-hand side, as we walk along, we're into Carnival Game Alley here. That's not the official name for it, that's what I call it, but there's a whole row of carnival games along here. But on the left is the entrance to Accelerator. You can see the top hat going all the way up there. This is another one of the 3 coasters that we won't get to ride on this visit. This one's a really, from what I've heard, it's a really good launch coaster.
I just wish we could ride it. I don't know, it's supposed to be close to being done being refurbished, but it's not going to be open while we're here. I like the theming of the service station out in front of it. It's Route 66 inspired, and they did a great job making it look authentic. Here are some more of the game as we walk along here. After you pass by all the games, you come to another restaurant. This one is Boardwalk Barbecue. They have your standard barbecue fare, as you would expect. I'm a big fan of barbecue, so this place is probably right up my alley, but we've already eaten today, and we had barbecue actually, but it was at a ghost town restaurant. So there are a couple of barbecue places here. Past the restaurant are even more carnival style games. So if you enjoy playing the carnival games at an amusement park, this is where you would want to come. I guess it's appropriate since this is supposed to be a beach boardwalk, and that's pretty much what beach boardwalks are known for. They even have a whack-a-mole down there, which is my game of choice. They also have what they call the Boardwalk Ballroom. They have a big sign that says "Welcome to Knott's Berry Farm" out in front, but I haven't seen it open since we've been here, so I don't know if that's ever open either. Here's another sign for Accelerator. I bet that sign looked really cool at night, but unfortunately the park closes at 6 tonight, so I don't think we'll have the chance to see what anything looks like at night around here.
There we go, we finally made it to Supreme Screen, which is Knott's.
It's unfortunately the kind of drop tower that will bounce you up once you get to the bottom, which I'm not a huge fan of because you don't seem to get as much airtime by bouncing up and down like that as you would if you just fell straight down. They also have 3 towers here, but it looks like they're only using 1 at the moment. We're coming into Fiesta Village, which is an area that was recently redone in the park. I'm not sure whether it was a full retheming or just a refurbishment. I don't know whether this has always been called Fiesta Village or not. I was trying to do some research into that before I came to the park, but I'm still not entirely sure. Either way, they are selling a whole lot of merchandise for Fiesta Village most likely because they redid the area. I'm not sure whether to go this way or if I should make a right through the archway. Well, Jen wants to go through the archway, so we'll go this way. We'll come around to the other side in a little bit. The Casa California has an Oreo churro. It's $8. Even though the churro sounds good, the price is a bit much.
They serve burritos or bowls, and you can choose your protein and toppings. They have some snacks, chips and salsa, guacamole, or queso. They have a few different desserts and fountain and bottle drinks. One nice thing about this, since it's a Cedar Fair park, they don't put that sneaky 5% surcharge in there that the SeaWorld Australian parks do. I'm still a little salty about that. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Come out to a nice little fountain. And Papas Mexicanos. As you can probably tell from the name, this area is pretty much themed to like a little Mexican town. From the other direction, here's a look at the Casa California sign. Casa California Restaurante. We're not too terribly far from Tijuana. Probably take just a couple of hours to get there from here. To the right is an old-fashioned carousel. It has more than just horses on it. There are also ostriches, camels. That's just what I can see further along. It's known as the Carousel de California. As you can see there. Here we go. There's ostriches, there's a giraffe here.
For those of you guys on board, we do ask that all children and anyone riding on the lower platform, whether it's an animal or a chair, please make sure you well fasten. For those who aren't standing, please make sure you are in the middle between the animals.
I always think it's fun when carousels add different animals besides horses. Continuing with our look at the coasters, we come up to this nice little Aztec-looking pyramid. As you can see, there's a track coming out of it. The track is for the family coaster Jaguar. I say it's a family coaster because the seats are only big enough for one adult and a child to sit side by side. It's really tight of a fit for two adults to sit side by side here. Inside the temple it's very dark, but there's some things to look at. There's a little bit of painting in there. When you finally come out and board the coaster, the track will actually go around and into the top of this temple, which I thought was a nice touch. Being a family coaster, it's not super extreme, but it's still a fun ride. Let's see if I can take a quick seat over here and wait for the train to come by. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. There's actually two lift hills. This is the first of the two. And if you're riding on Jaguar and you're at the top of the lift hill, you can see to your right, if you look to your right, you can see the work that they're doing in Montezuma's Revenge, and you can see exactly how much work they still have to do, and swirl alert, it's a lot. But yeah, there is the top of one direction from Montezuma's Revenge. When they're done with the revamping, it's going to, as it stood before the revamping, you would launch one direction, go up, and then go back down backwards and go back up again the other side. So it's basically a mirror image track. You go up one side, up the other side. The other side's all the way over there. I'm not sure if you can see how well you can see it, but yeah, now what they're doing is you won't know which way, whether you launch forward to start or backward to start. So that's kind of fun if they added some randomness. And then right into the top of the temple. You can't see, you can see it going there. Up at the top of the temple, there's a little orange light and some mist to imitate fire. thought that was a nice little touch. It's nothing super fancy, but it's still a little bit unexpected going in there. All right, so now that it went along, let's keep moving. You're not gonna know where to find us. Over here next to the Baja Taqueria, or Taqueria, I'm not sure what syllable to accent in that word. There is La Revolucion, which is a ride that I call the Claw, because that's how I know the very first one that I ever saw is called the Claw at Hershey Park. One of these, kind of like a giant frisbee, except everybody's facing inward instead of outward. And all around this area, I'm pretty sure these are part of the refurbishment. They have a bunch of Mexican creatures and little plaques beneath them talking about each one. They kind of remind me of the creatures in Coco, if you've ever seen the movie Coco. They're pretty cool. I love the action poses they put some in there. Very colorful. I like the centerpiece one here in the fountain. There's a stage here, but I haven't seen anything going on the stage, and even the Showtime sign is blank, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Here's another one of the Mexican creatures. And right next to it, the Hat Dance, which is a really fancy looking teacup ride. Basically, you sit in the teacup and you have sombreros over top of you as you spin, which I think is a nice touch. Beyond that is, well, in addition to there being another one of the creatures, another creature here with a sign calling it a Cleophas. And then another one of my favorites, even though it's probably the smallest statue they have here, the Philemon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I like this little lizard creature.
Why didn't you write it?
Beyond that, up high,
No, you should have just
they elevated their pirate ship. This is, they actually call it a dragon swing, but it's basically just a pirate ship. They just made it look like a dragon. At the top, if I can get this with all the sun here, it's right in the sun, but the top of it is a sunburst that has a bird, I believe a hawk with a snake in its mouth. And the game didn't like that, so I won't do that anymore. But, there's some good Mexican theming in this area, including this fountain, which looks refreshing, but I'm not about to dunk my head in that.
Seated upright at all times. Keep your hands and arms inside the hat. Be sure to lock all articles and for your safety, take those around you.
Even the water fountain. See, look at this water fountain. It's got a nice little wave coming up in front of the fountain. Is it working? Well, the bottle refill is working. We're coming out to the Cantina del Sol. Someone will have to tell me what Cantina del Sol means. I'm not really sure what Sol means. It is Los Voladores, which is a traditional swing ride. Finally, we get to catch one of these flat rides in action. This big K It's kind of tucked away, so I kind of missed it when we were over there. But over in the boardwalk area, there is what they call the Sky Cabin, which is a little rotating platform that raises up this tower. It's kind of like the Kissing Tower at Hershey Park. If you have seen our video that we took from inside there, it'll spin around, tell you about the park, you get a nice view of everything. Unfortunately, I don't think it's centrally located within the park enough, and you get a lot of the surrounding neighborhood, not as much of the actual park as I would have liked, but it's still a nice touch, plus it's air conditioned, so this time of year you can go in, sit down in the pool, take a load off your feet and get cool for a little bit. As you can see up here, this little brown track, train coming, or probably stagecoach. This little brown track up here is part of the rapids. Not the rapids, I'm sorry, this is part of the log floor that they have here. Maybe we'll see a boat come by while we're waiting for the train to pass. Looks like we came back to where we started, because here's the drop tower. We made a big circle that quickly, so that's about the extent of the Fiesta Village area. So let's see, we saw the Sierra Sidewinder, we saw Silver Bullet, we saw Hang Time, Coast Rider, Accelerator, Ghost Rider. I think we need to turn around because we're back to where we were. Okay, so let's turn around. Let's see, we saw Jaguar. I'm trying to run through in my head if we've seen every coaster. We saw Pony Express. And we sort of saw Montezuma's Revenge. So yeah, we've actually already seen every coaster in the park. They're not as spread out as some parks would be. But we haven't seen everywhere in the park yet. We've seen almost everywhere, but the one place that we've missed is Camp Snoopy, where there was a coaster. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there was a coaster, but they closed it earlier this year to begin their renovations of that area. So we'll head over toward Camp Snoopy and we'll get to the front of the park, and then I think we'll probably call it a day. Let's see, which way did we not go? Let's follow Jen. There's a map over here, but this isn't a true map. This is just an entertainment map. I'll show you what's going on. So here's the main entrance. We are in Fiesta Village, which is over here. So to get to Camp Snoopy, we need to go past La Revolucion down here. And I'm going to see the Camp Snoopy. So there's a pirate ship, La Revolucion. So there's the pirate ship right there. So there's La Revolucion, so we'll keep going this way. They'll also give us a chance to go by the track for Montezuma's Revenge. Well, if you can see from here, I wish YouTube would let me zoom in, but you can see that there's a huge chunk of track missing still right here. So that's some good evidence that they got a long way to go yet to finish that coaster. But with all these coasters that are down right now, we definitely need to come back here Hopefully all 3 of them will be back up and running here. Here we go in the Kinsey. This is the back way into Camp Snoopy. As you can see, coming out this way if I turn around, there is a nice Fiesta Village sign. They do a great job with the signs for Fiesta Village, no matter which way you enter. There's a little truck line here. There's a very old-fashioned Ferris wheel. It's not very tall either. They have you sitting in the old Ferris wheel seats, not really in buckets like most Ferris wheels, most newer Ferris wheels nowadays. I'm sure the lights on this look very nice at night. Yet again, the park closes too early. We'll never get to see how it looks at night, unfortunately. There's another kiddie ride back here. Pigpen's mud buggies. Just a bunch of dune buggies that bounce up and down as you ride them. Over here, this is like Oscar's Wiggly Worm over here, but it's not running. I haven't seen it running the whole time we've been here. I have to compare everything to rides at other parks just because I don't know the generic term for them. Offhand. Are you going to refill? Here is Charlie Brown's kite flyer, which I like to call the kite eating tree. If you can see, as it spins, it's almost like a little cartoon. You can watch this tree eat the kite that's in its mouth and smile about it. One thing of note, if you get a refillable drink bottle, the drink refill stations close very early. Park closes at 6, it's only, what, a little after 4, and a lot of them are already closing. Over here is the Huff and Puff, which is a little kid-sized ride where, thank goodness it's kid-sized because the goal is to self-propel yourself around the track. I don't think that many adults would have the strength to be doing that. I know I should. And beyond that, it's a little hang glider ride. There's a little cave that you can walk in that goes by a waterfall. I think I want to take a trip down here. Actually, there are 2 different entrances. I want to take the other entrance because you get to go across a fun bouncy bridge. There's the Grizzly Creek Logic there, which is a restaurant. I like that they theme this area to a little bit of a woodsy type theme because it's supposed to be like a camp. So it's good attention to detail. They have some really good theming in this park, which I guess they need to keep up with the Disney and the Universal, which are right down the street. Making gingerly down these steps. Gimbal's doing some work right now, trying to keep the camera steady. Nice and air conditioned and quiet in here, except for the sound of the water. two little waterfalls. You can peek through these holes in the rocks. So that's basically all there is to it. Just that fun little bridge and then this view of the waterfall. That's still nice. It's still a little fun area. Nice way to get some shade if you need it. And not a lot of people tend to come in there either, so it's quiet. Now these construction walls, you know, obviously most of Planet Snoop or Camp Snoopy is construction walls right now because of the expansion. So to keep kids entertained, they have a bunch of Peanuts comics on the walls. And now I'm not sure what Jen is. She probably went to find something for us to get a drink for. There she is in line up in what they call the Cave Inn, a little pretzel and drink place. We were cracking up over the name Cave Inn over there. Not only does it make you think of the Cave Inn, but it's also inside the cave. So,
Alright, everyone, folks, if I don't understand you, join in. Please remain seated so your vehicle doors don't open itself, and I'll be around to help you out. Please learn and listen and enjoy the rest of your day here. It's very much.
while Jen's getting a drink, I'm going to have a seat on the bench for a minute. And we can listen to some of the Camp Snoopy music. Maybe if you're lucky, up above us is the Sierra Sidewinder, and we will catch a glimpse of some trains going by while we wait. As I go often enough. This particular coaster doesn't take too terribly long to load or unload, so hopefully they'll get it going soon. It's really fun because you can sit facing either forward or backward up the lift hill. It's fun to be backwards, but it's also a little awkward because you're facing down the lift hill as you go up, and it's facing down the lift hill as you go up, and it's kind of a steep hill when you lean forward a little bit. But Jen's back with water, so that's always nice. Refillable drink mug for season pass holders. So yes, we did get a season pass for Cedar Fair for 2024, so we'll be spending a lot more time at the various parks. Not really Knott's Berry Farm, but the East Coast parks, and we might even make our way out to Kings Island or Cedar Point as well next year. We miss both of those parks. But as of right now, we do still also have our Busch Gardens season pass, so we'll be heading back there a few more times too this year. Hopefully, they're taking a very long time to launch a Sierra Sidewinder car. I'm about to stand up if they don't hurry up and get something going. As you can hear, there's another train nearby. This park has about 3 different trains that you can ride on. This one in this area is a Peanuts themed train, which will be going on sometime in the near future. We may, if they allow it, we may record the ride around so you can see what they have on there, because they have some little displays to look at as you ride around. I hear something coming, I don't know what. It doesn't look like it's a train. I think it actually is Sierra Sidewinder. Let me try to stand up, see if I can get a better look at it. Okay, there we go. Let's get walking. Jenny, ready to move? So as we move deeper into Camp Snoopy, as you can see here, the Camp Snoopy sign above the train station. Here is the sign for the Sierra Sidewinder. They also, like many Cedar Fair parks, they have a flying ace ride, a Snoopy on top of his doghouse. In addition to the Sierra Sidewinder being right here, here is the entrance to what I was mentioning earlier, the Grand Sierra Railroad, which is a peanut steam train. It's kind of a short ride, but there's a lot to look at on there. It's actually pretty fun.
I mean, I would have said, like, I wasn't aware that I was
When we first got here, that was actually the first thing we rode before we even rode any of the coasters. More construction walls with more Peanuts comics on them. Here is the Camp Snoopy Theater. They have 4 show times a day, 11:30, 3:15, 1 o'clock, 4:45. The show that they have here is called The Music Goes Round and Around. You can see there's a big piano on there. I guess there's a lot of Schroeder playing piano. And that looks like a music classroom. Seems like a fun show. It was in progress when we were on the Sierra Sidewinder earlier, and it only lasted about 10 minutes, so not a very long show. I like the window displays they have in this gift shop that's here. All the kids sitting around the campfire roasting marshmallows. Those marshmallows are just the perfect degree of char too. They look really good. There's a Knott's Snoopy, Knott's hat Snoopy. And this cool clock up here. I think, is this clock accurate? I think this clock is accurate up here. Woodstock on top of Snoopy's bowl is the pendulum. A few other Woodstocks ringing the alarm bells. The Snoopy over there was beautiful. That's a nice thing to put above the entrance to the store. There's another window display. Yet another window display. This one with all Woodstocks. Which Jen's a big fan of Woodstock, so that's right up her alley. You see she's giving a picture of it. Woodstock is her favorite Peanuts character. And if you remember seeing this earlier, the Camp Snoopy Rapids Transit, Snoopy in his canoe with the 3 Woodstocks were back around again. We're exiting Camp Snoopy coming into the main area. As you can see, we're right under Silver Bullet again. And there is a covered wagon with a Silver Bullet logo on the side of that as well. I think I missed showing that earlier in the screen. It looks a little worse for wear, but it's, considering how much time it spends in the sun, it's actually in pretty good shape. Oh, and as you can see, there's a little archway here for little kids to walk through underneath the fountain, underneath of the waterfall, I should say, where the kayak is going. Here's another look at the Knott's entertainment map. Here is a look at the map of places to eat for the Taste of Summer event that they're doing. Strangely enough, the third side, which you would think would be a regular park map that tells you where things are, is actually a list of the games that Knott is doing. This is actually kind of neat, this Ghost Town Fun Collection game card. When you play 12 games, you can get one of their exclusive Ghost Town characters. They're going to have 4 throughout the summer. One of them is the Catawampus, which is awesome that they have that. But aside from that, I don't know why they don't have a general map up there to show you when I was at this park. But anyway, here we are back at the foot gate again that we showed earlier. So we've made the full circuit. We've looked at all 9 on the coasters that they have here in celebration of National Roller Coaster Day. Unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, 3 of them were down, but we got to see 6 of them in action. So that's not too shabby. Thanks a lot for watching. This will be, once the stream ends, the video will be private for a little while while I edit it together, especially now that it's in 2 parts because I had to restart the video. So I'll edit those 2 parts together, but then it'll be back up for anyone who didn't already catch this live. I like how these bars are bent into the shape of a K for knots. So Jen doesn't want to be varmint number 304. I was hoping she would be varmint number 304, but she just wanted to, that's why she didn't want to be, oh, they closed off the back of it. Oh, that's a shame. This is clearly made to be a photo spot, but they closed it off so you can't get back here. Alright, well, that's a look at the park. Let me do this. See if I can get something interesting in the background. Get a coaster back here to close out. There we go. So, thanks a lot for watching our stream. As I said, I'll be doing a little bit of an edit before we make this public again. But we appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to our channel. That would really help us out to help the channel grow. So thanks a lot for watching. We hope you enjoyed the time, the tour, and we hope you found it valuable. Let us know what you think with a comment below. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, but the fun's not over yet. Click the box in front of my face for another fun video. Or click my tree to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another video.